everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the Young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
Here we go from Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Good work, boys. Let's go, let's go. '55, 20.
Yeah, let's get set.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Fitzpatrick, complete. This is Albert Wilson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And here now a look at the Dolphins' offensive unit.
I remember when Laramie Tunsil was coming out of Mississippi and I was evaluating him for the draft in 2016. I ended up writing down a description that I tended to like, and I'm going to use it here now. He's got feet like a receiver. He's got a body like an offensive lineman.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. Pulled in at the 24. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to launch it for Washington. This is caught at the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Washington, 54 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, This is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
All right, now, 180.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. And let's run through the Dolphins defense.
The competition to go to the Pro Bowl at safety is fierce in the NFL. But Rashad Jones makes his case year in and year out as one who should go.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Drake. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
Now's a good chunk of yardage picked up there. And big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
Here's Switzer. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Next drive coming up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not sure what was going on this past season in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, but you think about the Eagles and these Steelers and the injury bug that bit both of them, it's really hard to fathom. If it's germane to the Steelers, though, the dreadful start really began with the injury to Ben Roethlisberger, lost for the year after 2 weeks, and things, although they obviously picked things up later in the year, Charles, started to go south right there.
I think their head coach, Mike Tomlin, not going to win head coach of the year, but to me deserves great consideration because 1-4 start, then they won 8 out of 10, and no Ben Roethlisberger quarterback. In fact, they went through, as we would count it, essentially 4 quarterbacks this year when you count Joshua Dobbs in the preseason before he was traded to Jacksonville. You end up with an undrafted rookie, Devlin Hodges out of Samford, the Duck guy, Duck Dynasty himself. But this team, 30th in total offense. They've got a lot of work to do next year. But if they get Roethlisberger back, get a healthy James Conner back, they'll be right back in the hunt for the AFC North title.
So even though Pittsburgh's had a lot of great playoff years under Mike Tomlin, you think maybe this was his most impressive coaching job?
To me, this team could have collapsed and just gone totally south with the 1-4 start and all the injuries that we were noting. They didn't do that. They continued to press and were actually in the hunt, in the thick of the playoff race until a loss to Buffalo at home. I believe it was on a Sunday or a Monday night, and that pretty much knocked them out of it.
And remember, they lost their first-round pick. They gave them... And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Able to hit his tight end, Grimble. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, a 22. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now it's Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Two first-quarter touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 14-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 35 on second down, Fitzpatrick. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. He was looking to go back to Stills, and it's 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, Drake. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing...
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Kiko Alonso able to run it down for a loss of a yard.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
52 to mark, boy, 52. There we go. 49, check 49.
From the 39, Roethlisberger. And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Charles Harris. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
On 2nd down now, it's Drake, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards, good enough for a first. A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point now by Boswell. And it is now 21-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Now a handoff for Drake. Now Drake loses the football.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. First down, Fitzpatrick. And he hits Drake.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down, it's Drake, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. Now Fitzpatrick.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Christian Wilkins. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just like that, on we head to half number 2. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. 7 yards there and a first down. Roethlisberger now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Roethlisberger. It was a safety, Rashad Jones, that time, who was able to break up the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. Charles, you and I have made our predictions for Super Bowl 54. We're coming soon, the official Madden NFL 20 Super Bowl prediction. Something Madden folks do every year is predict how they think the big game is going to play out. And that prediction, with the help, by the way, from Peyton and Eli Manning, is going to be revealed on Thursday, January 30th, 9 Eastern. Go to EA.com/theprediction to check it out. And keep playing Madden to feed the machine and tell us who you think will win as well. Again, it's EA.com/theprediction. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now Fitzpatrick, and down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Switzer on the return. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A quick sidestep here, CD. The NFL doing something kind of neat for its 100th season, which wraps up with Super Bowl 54. They're inducting a 20-man class, a centennial class, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. Now, a number of modern-day candidates won't be announced until the night before the Super Bowl, but 15 have already been announced, and it's a pretty good list so far. Guys like Harold Carmichael, Bobby Dillon, Alex Karras, Donnie Shell, Duke Slater, a number of others in there as well, CD.
Yeah, you're right about that. And what this does is they hope it helps ease the backlog of some of the great candidates that are out there. You know, a Max Speedy and Ed Sprinkle, people may have forgotten about, but they were tremendous during their time frame. And we did get to see, if you're watching television, coaches Bill Cowher and Jimmy Johnson receive their invitation to Canton from the president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And we saw those announcements live. It was so much fun, wasn't it? And the emotion that came through. And let's not forget Executive George Young, who built the New York Giants back in the day with Bill Parcells and crew to win.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Well, hey, CD, we talked about some of the guys that were going into the Hall of Fame, the 15 that we already know. But of the more modern-day players that are finalists, who do you think's going to get in?
That is really, really difficult. I'm glad you asked because it gives us a chance to kick it around just a little bit. Tony Baselli, the left tackle, a lot of people have not put him in, I think, due to longevity. But when he played, he was as good as it got. I mean, best in the game. I think it's his time. I think he's going to find his way in, even though there's a backlog of offensive linemen like Steve Hutchinson's available. Alan Faneca's available. If you have to pick a safety out of this crew of Leroy Butler, Steve Atwater, John Lynch, Troy Polamalu, good luck on that one, although I think Polamalu is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he gets in. I think Edgerrin James, the running back, it's his time. He should have been in a while ago as far as I'm concerned. It's time for him to go ahead and get his due and get in. And if you're a receiver, good luck. Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Reggie Wayne, who do you pick out of that crew? So I think a few guys who are deserving will get overlooked again, like a Sam Mills, a linebacker, or a Zach Thomas. But all in all, it's going to be a very strong class.
And we will find out who the 5 are that will go into Canton with the other 15 the night before the Super Bowl on Saturday. On second down now, it's Drake, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. It's complete to Drake. And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Take 4, take 4.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
47, Mike, 47.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Hey, watch this, watch this.
Let's go.
Right back to Connor here on first. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first and 10 is Connor. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger going for it all. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 16. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. It's caught by Moncrief. And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Vance McDonald, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
And they're just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And the formula there on the a two-point try. They go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points.
And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This is taken at the 3. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Fitzpatrick. Oh, had his hands on it. Couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. How about Ben Roethlisberger, his 5th touchdown pass of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went,
that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Out Comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. His tight end, Dwayne Allen, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
And it's caught by Parker.
That one good for 13 at a Dolphin first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Fitzpatrick.
And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick. Caught. It's Wilson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 28.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them. They'll run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw again, Fitzpatrick. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Fitzpatrick. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw again on 2nd down, Fitzpatrick.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle.
Extra point up and good by Sanders as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Complete to Washington. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for two. Ben to throw again. And this is going to be caught. So add two more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. And, of course, on the two-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And this is caught. It's Parker. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.